He needs to have that feminine side. Because if he does
What do you mean by a feminine side? Like how
actually be able to support? Because we need that more. Like if we are
emotionally,
more
emotionally, I don't think that's necessarily. I mean, I guess that a man coming to you and tell you, "Hey, baby, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be alright. We're gonna be fine. I'm gonna fix this. Whatever happens, we're gonna be good afterwards. I'm gonna make sure I handle everything. I'm gonna take care of it, and I'm gonna solve the situation. I'm here for you. I love you. I need you. I need you to be strong. Let's go through this together." I don't think that doing that it's being feminine as a man. I think that it's being human. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the best podcast in the world. We have here three amazing women, and we're going to be speaking about topics that we might disagree on or agree on. We're going to see how the conversation goes. But the topic is about roles in a relationship and how the masculine and feminist energy play an important role in the relationship. Now, how are we going to agree and disagree on these topics? We might see how this go. So, girls, can you guys please introduce yourself? Start with you.
So this podcast is actually about finding a perfect match for Les.
Not really.
I have a very specific taste of women.
You need more than agreeing with me in this podcast to play that role.
Of course, yeah, you need to.
But I got a bunch of questions for you guys, and I wanna know how you guys think of it. So, but I want you guys to introduce yourself, and then we can start on.
Yeah. So Signe, of course.
Of course.
Supernova podcast.
She's the OG.
I'm the OG.
She's the OG.
Entrepreneur. Been an entrepreneur for many years. 9 years actually, and
It's a long time.
it is a long time.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I don't think I could see myself working for others and being like, I don't want to be dependent, basically. I think feeling dependent is one of my, like, the worst feelings I know, which is like, that could be hard in many situations.
Okay.
Sometimes like you get basically trapped and stuff like that. So that's a bit of me.
Okay, Signa, everybody. My name is Natalia. I do go by Nova. I'm an upcoming artist. I'm a musician, singer, songwriter. I have a detailing business. I'm an entrepreneur as well. I actually met Signa through Entrepreneurship. She invited me to some of her events, and she's came to one of mine, and we actually met at this building as well. In our last podcast, we did talk about it. But my name is Natalia. Go by Nova. Entrepreneur, singer-songwriter.
Natalia. Nice to meet you guys. My name is Victoria. Everyone calls me Tori. From Venezuela, the best country, the best arepas, of course. No, I'm just joking.
I could disagree with that.
I can disagree.
About those
They both have amazing arepas, but the best ones are from Venezuela.
So, like, what's the best arepas, Colombia or Venezuela?
Venezuela.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Oh my God, doesn't make arepas.
She forgot.
No, I actually came here, typical immigrant story. Always felt like I was made for something else. I don't want to be average. I really don't want to work for other people. I want to be part of that 3%, and we're working on it.
Beautiful. Yeah. So my name is Lazaro. I just exist. I just do my best every day to be me, and I'm just me. I don't do anything else. But now I got a question, because the three of you guys will consider yourself entrepreneurs, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So in a relationship, would you guys say that in order to have a successful relationship, do you guys need a masculine leader that has more masculine energy than you guys? Or would you guys tolerate somebody that has a feminist energy as well and can pretty much just have a balance in the relationship? Or you need somebody that will lead you all the way through your relationship, essentially? We can start by you.
You're in there.
I believe that.
I know she got a lot to say. That's why I said it.
I believe that definitely you can lead. Me as a woman, I'm able to lead. But if I ever find someone that is able to lead our relationship, definitely, because of the fact that I believe that nobody can be or give more feminine energy than myself.
So do you agree with the fact that you need a masculine energy, more masculine than yourself, in order to have a successful relationship?
I don't believe that it's needed, but it works out definitely well.
So it's, what I mean by needed is, do you think it would be ideal to have a man that is more masculine than you in order to make the successful relationship in your perspective and eyes?
Yes.
Leading questions. He's trying to win a conversation here.
No. I'm just asking questions because I will give my perspective at the end. I haven't given my perspective on it.
Exactly, leading.
So I'm asking a question.
Yes.
Would you think it would be, so you will agree in the fact that it would be ideal to have a masculine energy man in order to make that relationship successful?
Definitely.
Okay, cool. What about you, Nat?
I feel like it's so important to have a balance. I feel like I am a leader myself, so I do need a man who would lead as well. And when
Okay.
I fail at leading, he would need to come in and lead on his part. I feel like there's no such thing in masculine and feminine because we could be either or. We're all humans.
Okay.
And I feel like as long as you have that balance and when I'm failing, you come in, that's what I need. I need that reinsurance when I'm feeling down. I need that pickup when I'm falling, and I feel like it's so important as a woman to be that as well, for the man in order for a relationship to, there's plenty of ways to making a healthy relationship, but that right there, I feel
Okay.
like that balance is such an important step.
Okay. So when you refer as balance, what do you think is one role that a woman needs to have in a relationship to make it successful as a woman? You as a woman, what do you think that is something that you can bring to the relationship that is needed as your role as a female, to make it successful?
So I feel like not to put men down.
No, for sure.
But-
Speak your mind. And there's no judgments by there. We all family. We all love each other. We might have different perspective on everything we're speaking about, but we really do love and respect each other. And this is not judgments. Everybody has a different
judgments.
perspective. So we are going to give our perspective on the topic and not be judged by it.
And I'm going to give examples because I'm going to start it from
Please
there.
do so.
Toilet paper. It goes
Sounds like
in
men.
the tube. It goes in the tube.
I agree.
Toothpaste needs to be capped.
I agree.
When it's done.
I agree. I 100%
You
agree.
guys shave. Put a bowl under your sink and then you shave. Makes them easier clean. Just little things like that.
I don't know about that
Make your-
last one though.
So then are you going to declog your
No,
sink?
I think that
at the
I
end of
do
the
I do
month?
that myself. Like I don't know
Okay.
I don't know the kind of man you be dating, but everybody
I don't be
is-
dating.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but I'm saying that's personal hygiene. So, but I get what you're saying. So men do tend to be less caring when it becomes to hygiene and all this kind of stuff.
Well, not necessarily hygiene, but I feel like a woman steps in on seeing like
The little details.
the details. I feel like we're so good at picking up details, at least women, not girls.
Yeah, so women
So-
are better at decorating an apartment.
Decorating an apartment, organizing your mind. Like, let's say like you have all these things you want to do. We are so good at planning them for you and giving you those ideas if you're eager enough to listen. But I feel like a woman does fall in that
agree.
place very much well, including like emotions, like let's say like you're having a fit with your brother and you're like, no, like as a man, it's his job to do this. And then that's when the woman comes in and says, but like this perspective, like,
I would disagree on that.
okay. And why would you disagree?
I will disagree on that because as men, I truly strongly believe that men have stronger feelings than women. Like when I mean an emotional side. However, as a man, you have to know how to control them. So I feel like men, if you get me angry, I want to smash shit. Like I just want to fuck shit up. I just want to smash everything and break things. But it's my job as a man to control those emotions. Women when they get angry, they just want to cry.
Right, but the question is that how do we benefit a man?
I get that, but you were talking about the brother and the brother perspective, and like if you're being angry with your brother, you will step in and be like, hey, don't be so hard on him. I would disagree. I think that you should be hard on him as a man. my perspective.
Right.
But I agree with you on what you said about you benefiting a man. Like, I think that women are better at keeping stuff clean, organized, and they're just essentially better at making sure that everything is extremely organized.
So you see how you just agreed with me and then disagreed, but then agreed with me?
Yeah, I disagree with you
Just
on
like how you would in that situation. So I just benefited you right now by agreeing because you just agreed with me.
I don't get it. Say that again.
So you said you gave it an example, you agreeing with me, but then you dissed it on the
Yeah. So I disagree with you on what you said about, hey, because you mentioned before.
But I gave you the point of view on thinking that way, so you could.
What's going on?
Sorry.
I agree with you, Nat. I agree with you.
I see your point of view too.
Yeah. But still, if you have a brother that is being a bitch, call him out. Just be like, stop being a bitch. You're a man. Come on, stand up.
Right, in that situation. But I feel like as a woman, like we do tap into your emotional state, and then later on you think about it. Like we planted that seed in your mind, and you're too like probably stubborn to admit it.
Yeah.
In that, not you.
I know, not
the
me.
guy.
Yeah.
And then like later he'll think about it, like maybe I should have done this.
But men shouldn't be emotional.
I feel like
The reason why is because, think about it, and I'm going to give you a perfect example. Society is pushing so hard to make men emotional, and they're saying, hey, you as a man should speak your feelings. You as a man should say the way you feel. You as a man should follow your emotions. And when you have kids and men that are they have really extremely strong emotions, it's when you have kids shooting up schools because they are following their emotions. So as a man, there's no such thing as following your emotions. You have to feel whatever you're feeling, but you have to control them. You can't be emotional. That's not your job as a man. Do you think that the people that were fighting in wars back in the day were emotional? No, you had to go fight in a war. You wanted to stay home with your wife, but you had to go defend your country. You can't be emotional.
right.
As in war, though.
And then
Every day isn't like war. If you're fighting every day, like it
As
is
a man,
like
it
war.
is.
Like going to school, like if you're going to war.
Yeah. And going to school, there's times that people bully you and you just want to smack the shit out of them. As a man, you shouldn't. As a man, you shouldn't do that. You should control your emotions.
And why is it like, why should females at bullied do something else?
So I think that females are different when it comes to that because females are a lot more emotional. They don't have the ability to control emotions as well as men. That's just, and again, it's just my perspective on it. It's just my perspective.
Why?
I just think they can. They just can. Like and the exception don't make the rule. Generalizing women, the women are the one that whenever you're, for example, let's say that you as a man, you get into an argument with your wife, and you start somehow screaming at her what you shouldn't do. You should be a gentleman at all times. I'm just giving an example. Never scream at your wife, ever. Respect her because she's wonderful. However, if a man starts screaming at his wife, she has a big possibility of just start crying because they're more emotional.
I do feel like men do have the ability to control their emotions better than females can, because I feel like we were just born, because we have there's that men, what's that called, the DNA and
The testosterone.
and it's just natural like to us
I
to
agree.
be more emotional. Controlling though, I do believe that we do have very much control over our emotions, but it just depends on the person as well, with their experience.
I agree. After a time, as a woman, I'm not a woman. I'm just speaking for what I know. Girls, correct me if I'm wrong, but after you suffer,
You're wrong.
all right, tell me why I'm wrong.
No, I think can I answer the same question?
For sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Please do so. Because I know she was waiting her turn. She was looking at me as like, it's my fucking turn.
No, like if a relationship could be successful without a leader, like a man as a leading role, was that the question, kind of?
So my question was very simple. My question was, as a man, as a woman and a man. Well, the question I asked her was like, how do you benefit your man with a feminine energy or something that you would do to
That's
benefit the
next
relationship?
question. The first
So
one is like about the leader, because that's what I were very much not disagreeing to, but in a way like about relationships.
Yeah.
It's all about like, it's not like this is how it's supposed to be. It's all not like you need a male leader or a female like submissive whatever, because like we're people. It's
I get it.
people for everybody, and somebody needs like a more feminine man. Maybe like a lot of leader like females maybe need a more feminine man also, because it's very hard with two leaders. But as far as I like think myself, I would definitely like, I need a man to be like a masculine man. We're both leaders. Like I need to. I'm not under any man. I'm not under anybody, and I'm not
Mr. Producer.
I'm not under Cesar. I'm not above him either. We're working together as a team, and I think it's very also for a man. If you're an entrepreneur, I think you should always you should surround yourself with people that want you to grow.
100%.
You have to be around people that inspire you.
100%.
And I wouldn't come home to my man and find him like
playing video games.
exactly, like super
Do not do that. If you do that,
uninspiring.
what are you doing?
And that's like, you can say it's masculine. That's like a typical.
That is not masculine energy. That's being a bitch.
Yeah, but I think a lot of what you're saying also about like being very masculine, if you're like, no, you can't have emotions, blah, 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 then you're also being a bitch, actually.
I don't think so. I would disagree, but I want to add before you, because I know you want to say something, but before I want to add to what you said. I agree with you on having a balanced relationship. It's not like one, it's both of the people can be leaders in relationship. However, I do think that when it becomes to making a decision, the woman can always give her feminine perspective, her perspective in the relationship, talk it out with the man. But I do feel like the last saying is the man the one that should have.
Why?
Why? Because at least from my perspective, maybe your relationship is different, and I love you guys. It doesn't have nothing to do, but in my perspective, I am capable of making decisions. I am capable of leading. I am capable of doing the things. I would love for my woman to give me her perspective on things, but I will make the decision based on what I think is the best.
Would you feel inspired in a relation? Like, why couldn't you just be in a relationship with yourself then? If you're like, it's nice to have the perspective and blah, 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 but if you really want a woman just to be like the emotional support for the emotions that you don't have,
She's not gonna feel like she's
I do have
no.
no. I have emotions.
exactly,
We
but
say
you
that.
need to hide them, and you get home to your lady because she can feel sorry for you, and you can be that little baby.
So this is the thing. Like I said, as men, we have strong emotions, and it's extremely nice as a man to go through a really hard day at work or whatever you do, and get home and have your wife, your girlfriend, tell you, "Hey, babe, I know you had a hard day. I just want you to know I love you. I just want you to know that it doesn't matter what happens. I'm here for you." That is extremely nice. Like that's a life without that wouldn't make sense.
But both ways. Like, I don't want to have a man that's not doing that either.
100%.
That's feminine energy from the man. Like, that needs to be there too.
Right.
100%. I agree with you 100%. However, I do feel and believe that women tend to show their emotions a lot more.
Yeah.
And men tend to show his emotions a lot less. But that doesn't mean we don't have emotions. We have strong emotions, but we tend to show them less. Now, going back to your point of what you're saying, it's not about who it's a better leader, or it's not about who is the leader. It's about when shit goes down of making a decision, who is the one that's gonna make it? Because if somebody breaks in right now, right here, as we speak, me and Cesar have to go and fight the person that is getting in the house. You guys are not gonna do that.
Who says we won't?
You will try. You will try. You could try, but that wouldn't work out fine.
Who says I made the decision to buy the gun?
Come on.
Would you tell me no?
No, I will tell you. Go ahead, do it, but I'll keep it. I'm the one that's gonna have it. For sure.
So like, what if like you get a car? Would you let the girlfriend?
Say that.
I mean, well, that's in a different environment though.
When it becomes to violence, the man is the one that handles the violence. You know, like when in the street some shit goes down, let's say you get robbed, the man is the one that is gonna fight. Woman is not gonna fight. I hope my woman doesn't fight because she's gonna get kicked at. Like she's gonna get her ass beat. I don't want that at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do we agree on that?
Yeah.
Like it's a nice thing definitely to have. Like
You want to feel protected.
Yeah. I've been in relationships where I don't feel protected. Like I feel like I'm the
Now
I'm
you
the
feel protected.
strongest, person. Kind of.
What? Mr. Producer!
Don't mind.
What's going on here?
Oh my gosh.
He doesn't have a microphone, so I'm gonna speak for him.
No, but it's like if you really feel like you're the one that could take the fight, because I've felt that in many relationships. I've been like in dangerous areas, and I've felt like actually if something happens, I think I had to be the one to actually protect us. But
That's
I also
bullshit.
But I also did like kickboxing. I've
That's
done,
bullshit.
Like,
Thank you, Mr.
martial
Producer.
arts,
So let's say that you go into the dark right now and you go into a club to the corner of the street and you see 7 men just standing right there. Let's assume that you're walking by yourself. You'll be scared as shit.
I would grab any sharp thing in my purse.
But you will be scared as shit
and hold it.
You will be scared as shit, wouldn't you?
Of course.
But if
So
you're
you
walking,
wouldn't be scared?
but if you're walking with your man, if you're walking with your man
I
that
would
you
be
know,
like, we got this. I'm scared of shit. but
yeah,
we
you don't got
this.
shit. The man got this. You don't got shit. You know that if anything goes down, the man is the one that is gonna fight those 7 dudes.
And we're gonna be there to back them up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
We would
but
be
you
there
will feel
together.
more protected if you're with a man that you know is capable of beating their ass, wouldn't you?
Of course.
So the man is the one that should step up when shit gets violent, and he's the one that leads in the relationship when it becomes to
And
violence.
what if you get into a huge argument with your mother and you're screaming at her just because you can't control
I
your
wouldn't do
emotions?
that ever.
Well, let's just say like a man does that.
It's not a man.
Okay. So you've never screamed at one of your family members before.
My brother.
So you've never screamed at your parents before?
My dad again to argue with not with woman related. I would never disrespect a woman or scream or get into an argument with a woman. I just think it's pointless.
But have you done it before?
I have done it before. And I learned from it.
Okay.
But what was your question?
So my question is like a female I feel like would come in between that and would try and tap in and calm things down, or like in a more emotional state of a situation.
Yeah.
Like we would know how to hey, like this is their point of view. It's called a mother's touch. Like it's just natural in women.
I agree with you 100% on that. So I want to touch. Were you gonna say something? Because then I want to touch on this very quick.
I already said it.
Men are better in a lot of things than women, and women are better in a lot of things than men. Women are better at. Women have a healing energy. Like if I'm sick, I don't want my boy to be with me. I want my woman to be with me because I'm fucking sick. They have a healing energy. They know they're very. The exception don't make the rule, but most women are better at cooking than men. Raising the child. I wouldn't leave my man with a. I wouldn't leave my man. And I say the exception don't make the rule, but I wouldn't leave my man. I wouldn't leave my man with a bunch of men. My kid. I wouldn't leave my kid with a bunch of men. I know women will be able to take care of my kid better than a bunch of men. Would you guys disagree with me on this?
No, I agree.
Definitely, like most, of course, like that's the reason why it's masculine and feminine. But of course, like also in relationships and in any way, like it should. People are different. Like we need to find what's work for us, basically.
So you disagree with me on the fact that men, it's not always the one that should lead the relationship.
I disagree.
Disagree,
I feel
yeah.
like women definitely come and
Give
fill
me an
in.
example. in life? I want every single one of you guys to give me an example.
So I was talking to this guy one day, and he had told me that he just doesn't care for other people's point of views, that he sees one way and he knows he's right in one way. And I told him, and I was like, but what have you learned from other people that you still do to this day, that you've taken on from listening to other people? So why did you just lie to yourself just now when you say you don't like to see other people's point of views, but how many people have guided you to where you are today, or put things in your mind to guide you to where you are today? So you do see point of views, you just don't admit you do. And that right there is you not tapping into your feminine energy when you know it's there.
I agree. Now, but I will also disagree on the fact that if you have a man that is capable of doing that by himself, which if a man is high value enough, will be able to do what's impossible.
Impossible to just always know that they're right.
No, 100%. No. And that's why I go back to what I was saying to Signet. I do agree in the fact that a woman should give her perspective to the man.
But would you listen?
I will definitely listen. It's my woman.
So then why did you say that you feel like you're right?
Because the last decision of what I should do, it's on me. For example, let's say that I tell my wife, babe, let's move to New York. And she's like, I don't want to go to New York. I want to go to Miami. Babe, I have a business deal in New York. Let's go to New York for a year and then we'll do something else. Nah, but I like the hot weather. I want to go to Miami. Yeah, babe, but I got a business deals that I have to take care of. And tell me why you think Miami is better. I will listen to her and actually listen to what she's saying, why she thinks that we should go to Miami. I will have it in consideration, but at the end, I'm going to make the decision of what's better for a relationship because I'm responsible for it.
But what if the woman had a business deal that's better than yours in Miami, and she's not just wanting to go to Miami because of the weather?
And so in case that she has a business deal that is better than mine, I think we should follow her path.
Exactly.
I agree.
And that's how a woman could also lead a relationship.
I agree.
The one that takes the action and the one that's reaching. Like, I think you should always be, if you're in that kind.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like, you want that. Like, you
Yeah.
want to be the only leader in your relationship. You can feed the family.
Yeah.
That's your relationship.
Yeah.
I want a relationship where we're both growing together because I always want to evolve. And then I need a man that also want that because we can push each other.
I agree with you, and definitely our perspective on relationships are a lot different. Before even this podcast, we talked about it many times. But I think that the role as a man in a relationship and a woman is different than what you see it, for sure.
Yeah, in your relationship.
Because, yeah, and I think that women are more fulfilled, and I know I'm going to get hit for this, but I think that women are more fulfilled by raising the child, taking care of the house, and being on her feminine side. I think that's when the woman is the most fulfilled. Not actually working a job. And all of you guys are entrepreneurs. I think that you guys are doing an amazing job by what you guys are doing. You guys are working on yourself. And I know you guys. And I know how amazing you guys are. However, I do got to say that a woman, in my perspective or my knowledge, because I have a mom, it's more fulfilled by raising child and being on the house and taking care of the house. And the reason why I say this is because you can go to your mom and ask her, Mom, what was the best thing that ever happened to you? Your mom is going to tell you having you.
And your dad will say,
But I have a question for you.
My dad would say a lot of things. I love you, Dad.
Why they can't do this at the same time and work on themselves?
Say that again.
Why? I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying it's actually an amazing thing because the reality is no one's going to raise better the child that I created than myself.
I agree.
But why can I not work on myself too?
No. You should absolutely do both. I agree with you. You should absolutely do both. Work on yourself, raise a child, take care of the house, and take care of your husband. And I'm very traditional when it comes to all the things. I think that society is trying to destroy the family union, and for a lot of different reasons. But I feel like, look at the people that have been married I met somebody that was married for 60 years the other day. And I was like, how do you made it? And she was like, I was at home raising the child. My husband will make it home at 4 or 5 p.m. and I was there cooking his meals and with the kids, taking care of the kids, and we lasted 60 freaking years. Relationships,
Because they are like many freaking years old.
yeah, but also relationships nowadays don't fucking last. Relationship nowadays don't fucking last because a woman and a man is both faults. I actually think that it's most the man's fault than the woman, because men are now bitches nowadays. I do agree on that, and most men are below average, not even average at this point, but below average. But I do gotta say that most relationships don't last because people are forgetting that 50 years ago we did something that worked out perfectly fine. We having a traditional family and relationships was working just fine.
I feel like it would work like that too now if there's a balance. Like let's say there's a
agree.
time where I couldn't cook or I couldn't clean for a week because I was
agree.
sick. The man would have to fall in place for that. Let's say the man loses his job and now the woman has an opportunity to get a job quicker.
I agree.
The woman would fall in that place. So I feel like honestly, like back to our past conversation, if there's that balance, I do agree that a woman definitely is better at taking care and fostering a child.
I agree.
And taking cleaning details in the house than a man
agree.
would, because we catch those things. I feel like we were built like that, but I definitely do feel like there should be a balance always.
Completely. Now, let me ask you guys a question. I said that and Victoria went like, how do you guys think that as a woman, you guys have value? What do you think gives you value as a woman?
The control we have over men.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I respect that a lot. I fucking respect that. I love that. Do you think you have control
True.
over men? And that's going back to my point.
I don't know if you've ever heard of the term P is power, but
I never heard of that term.
okay.
Yeah.
So
What does that mean?
excuse my profanity, but pussy is power. In most ways, you know, like the tales of Medusa, the tales of, and I'm not just, that's like kind of an evil tale.
But you know why pussy have power, right?
So
I'm sorry.
continue. Continue.
I wanna get everybody's perspective before I say what really is what gives women the value.
Because
What
I
really
feel like
I'm just here
generally-
educating everybody.
What is?
Because I feel like what we find attractive in a man is a man who likes to genuinely hear us out and care for us in ways even not even just providing, but just like femininely like tapping in with us and then same with us. Like what makes you want us is, you know, when we don't give it to you and when we can we pause
Most
I need a second to
most
like collect myself before I speak.
Most women don't know what a man want.
Most men absolutely don't know
What a woman wants.
I do know what a woman want, but
And what is that?
no. But what you saying? You said that a man you don't, because you just said this, and you said that you wouldn't necessarily care if a man will not or will provide for you. You care a man that will listen to you, hear you speak, be there for you, and emotional support you.
Correct,
Right?
because I could provide for myself.
Okay. Now,
Exactly.
We can provide for ourselves.
now, let's say that man gets you pregnant, and you're pregnant. You
That's
have
why
six-
we don't do that then. We don't put ourselves in that position.
So you wouldn't have a baby with a man that cannot provide for yourself.
I would not have a baby that with a man that cannot provide.
So that you're contradicting yourself with what you just mentioned before. Exactly. So
Pause. No.
how do you give value to yourself? Going back to my question.
How do I give value as a woman?
Yeah.
I
How do you
feel
think
like
is your value as a woman? What do you think is the most valuable that a female have? And I know what it is.
you know what it is? What it is?
Yeah, but I want to get you guys' perspective on. Like, I want you guys to, because as a woman and as a man, everybody should think about sitting down and talk to themselves and be like, okay, as a man, what gives me value? What do I have to work on to be the best version of myself in order for me to find a wife that will want to marry me? And as a woman, what do I need to have to find a man that will love me, take care of me, and do all the things that I want as a woman. Everybody desires are different, but now, what is the thing that is going to give you value as a woman from everybody's perspective?
That I can be both.
You can be a man and a woman?
No,
What do you mean by you can be both?
I can be both. A woman, going back to your comment of men can't feel, which is not what, I'm not saying that what you said is wrong, is how you said. It's,
Now we're getting started. Yes.
it's the fact that you said men can't have emotions. They can't.
I never
They just
said
got-
that.
You did say it.
I said men have
Can't feel
stronger
that.
emotions. They just can't show it. They're not supposed to show their emotions. They're not supposed to be emotional. But I did say that men have a stronger emotions than women.
Definitely, they do. You just got to learn how to control it. But if we take it to the value and the power of a woman, I can be both. Honestly, like as for myself, I can be
Okay.
both. I can provide and respect and self-love myself. But I know that a man will never be able to create a life like I do. That's something that they can't do.
For example.
Therefore,
For example,
when
Giving
you
birth.
birth.
how do you get pregnant without a man?
Let me finish my point. Okay. That's exactly why since I'm able to do both,
Mr. Producer in the back just like,
why would I don't have to be both. You know?
you don't need to. You can be both. You can't.
Yes, but technically I can't. I just
So how
don't
many
have
single
to.
moms have you
Because
seen?
the reality
A lot.
is, yes.
Exactly.
I mean,
That have
you and
been
I,
both.
we both have some single mothers. And they both play those two roles.
I agree.
They just don't
strongly,
have to.
strongly agree. However, and this is something very sensitive, but I agree with you. And my mom, for example, I love my mom. She's the love of my life and absolutely insanely love her. Now, I have had this conversation with my mom. She's not successful. She's successful in every part of her life, but having a relationship because she has a strong masculine energy. She's the woman that tells the man what to do. She's the one that provides for the man. She's the one that pays all the bill as the woman. She's not successful in relationships because she has told me I need a man that will do what I'm doing for this man that he will do for me. I need a man that makes more money than me. I need a man that is taller than me, stronger than me, can provide for me, can protect me. I need a higher version, a stronger version of
That can turn her survival mode off.
Exactly.
That's how I feel.
Exactly.
But will I ever find somebody?
You
that?
Yes,
absolutely
definitely
will.
There's 8 billion people on this fucking planet.
Don't settle. I
Right.
think that's the most important thing. Seriously, about this thing, like you said also yesterday, also like the being the average, blah blah blah. And yes, I think absolutely average men want a more feminine woman, and average woman is more feminine. But we don't want the average because we don't want to be the average.
Agree.
And
Want to be
Definitely.
feminine.
yeah, but we we want to be whatever we want to be basically, but we don't want to be average, and that then what we're aiming for is not average either. So if you're aiming for that, like I made a list before I met Cesar with a soulmate search.
The producer.
It's Mr. Producer. I had a soulmate search. I did that because I didn't want a relationship at all. Not on my list. I didn't want it in my whole life, basically. Which is, yes, proving your point. But I wrote down 50 different things that I would have in a man, like a potential partner.
Does he have to be stronger than you?
Yeah. And that's one of
Does
the
he have
things
to be
that I
more
want.
feminine than you?
No, but he needs to support me. He needs to have
it's
those
Going back to
feminine
my
sides.
point.
It's
Yeah, but he
exactly
needs to have that feminine side. Because if he does
What do you
that,
mean by a feminine side? Like how
actually be able to support? Because we need that more. Like if we are more
emotionally, I don't think that's necessarily. I mean, I guess that a man coming to you and tell you, "Hey, baby, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be alright. We're gonna be fine. I'm gonna fix this. Whatever happens, we're gonna be good afterwards. I'm gonna make sure I handle everything. I'm gonna take care of it, and I'm gonna solve the situation. I'm here for you. I love you. I need you. I need you to be strong. Let's go through this together." I don't think that doing that it's being feminine as a man. I think that it's being human. I don't think it's being feminine at all. I think that what is being feminine, I'm sorry. I think that what's being feminist is just me coming here and sitting down and telling you, babe, I had a horrible day. This guy screamed at me.
View of femininity.
But isn't that feminine? Isn't that feminine? Me sitting here and crying my ass off because
That's
I had
also feminine. Absolutely. But also like showing emotions. Like everybody needs to have a feminine and a masculine side. And of course you have a more masculine side, but you need that feminine side, which is the emotions, which is like the flowing way, which is like understanding basically. And it has like, you need that. You can't regret,
so,
like refuse it.
To correct my point, because I think that I did say something that it wasn't quite right. It depends on the situation. For example, and the reason why I'm saying this is because when you're going through an extremely hard time of losing a loved one, you can be vulnerable. That's acceptable. As a man, you can be vulnerable because it's a hard time for you. So I think that in that case, you can be emotional. You're supposed to be emotional with your woman and have her support you during that hard time. Now, it's not an excessive way. Like it depends on the situation. You need to be very aware of when you do it.
I agree in certain aspects. Mm-hmm.
You were gonna say something.
The thing is, has been this idea of when men like leading or being in their masculine energy and a woman being on their feminine energy completely. There has been this idea because we're talking about back in the times, out of 10 cases, one was the bad one. One was the negative one. One was the one that the woman that didn't have a word in the relationship. One of them was the one that, I don't know, the man beat the woman or whatever. That negative, because it's a fact, negative will always weigh more than positive. Always. That negative stayed. So this idea of, a masculine man, doesn't have feminine energy, it doesn't mean that they don't. I feel like it's just that this idea of masculine energy has been completely strictly painted as of like this person is not allowed to be a human.
And
I
also
agree.
energy about crying all the time.
Exactly. And the same thing with women.
I agree.
And the same thing with women. Because if you think about it, if I'm in a relationship and yes, the finale, which takes me back to the point I wanted to finish, is that yes, the man that is going to be with me should be able to lead the relationship because of the fact that I know I'm going to take care of the family and I'm going to take care of the kids because I can do both. But I got to.
But what fulfills you the most? What will fulfills you the most?
Out of a man?
No, out of taking care of business, of the role, taking care of business, or of being at your house, raising your kids, taking care of the house, and making sure that once your husband gets back from work, his meal is cooked and his house is clean, his kids is waiting for him. What will fulfill you the most?
But you're separating two different things.
This is the thing, because this was wrong about society. The reason why I'm saying this is because let's say that you focus on your business extremely hard right now. Go work hard, make millions and millions of dollars. Let's say that you're 50 years old and you have $10 billion in the bank account.
You're alone.
You're freaking alone with no kids. Who gives a shit? You haven't fulfilled your role as a woman in planet Earth.
That's because you've been in survival mode for 10,000 years. You haven't tapped in your feminine energy.
So what fulfill woman, or the job that a woman should have, it's creating life, taking care of the life that she created with a man, and taking care of the household. That's where she's going to be fulfilled the most. Can we agree?
I agree.
But the way that you're saying it, it's different. Because yes.
So it's not about what I'm saying, it's how I'm saying it.
Yes, it's how you're saying it. Because I do agree.
So let's say that
it's just that you're saying it in an emotional way for me to react to with my emotions.
No, let me reframe it. Let me reframe it then. Let's say that the best way to have a relationship is the man making the biggest amount of money, taking care of the family, and the female is just going to make sure that she gets provided for, she gets protected for, and she's going to take care of the kids that they had together, the house, and she's going to make sure that the house and everything is absolutely awesome for when her husband gets home.
Because I want to. Because the reality is...
Of course is that want
definitely, because this idea of 50-50, whatever they want to say, I do believe it, but it applies in that way. If the man is put in the house, I'm going to make it a home. Because that's what I call 50-50. That's the teamwork.
Yeah. So,
but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop working on myself.
Exactly.
I never said that was the case. What I said is that because I feel like we're missing my point. My point is you're going to be more fulfilled as a woman by having child, taking care of your child, and taking care of the house, and making sure that your husband is great at all times in an emotional, supportive way.
Yeah. If the man,
Can
if
we
it's a
agree on
real
that?
man, is actually
Put in the work. Let's assume that he is, because your value as a woman, you should attract a man that is.
If the man is bringing the house, we make it a home.
yeah.
That term.
So both of you guys agree with me on that, because this is my
I
point.
I do.
So and you don't agree with me on this.
I would definitely not feel fulfilled at all by staying home, raising kids, and be living, surviving by making my man feel the best at all times. He need it.
Supernova
it's not
podcast.
Like
You can change the war.
but it's not like I don't want to do stuff. But like I want to. Of course, I want Cesar to have the best life. I want him to thrive and everything, but it needs to be both ways.
Let me ask you a question.
This cannot be one way at all. And then that's why I'm very happy and why I joined the relationship.
Let me ask you a question. So let's assume that tomorrow something happens, and let's say La Cesar has to take a business trip. And only one of you guys can go. Only one of you guys can go. And let's say that he goes. First of all, who would you think that he will go to the trip?
Me, because I already went 3 business trips.
So
but
you should
it
be
doesn't
the
necessarily
one in the
need to-
relationship that should go.
No, it doesn't need to be me. Like we're both working together. So whoever fits best for that specific trip, that's the one that should go.
I feel
I
like
agree.
it depends on the lifestyle you want to live. If you both
Yeah.
are entrepreneurs and you both are travelers and you want to live your life, to the fullest, it's so important that you both want the same thing. So honestly, it depends on what you want and what type of
Exactly.
lifestyle you
Yeah.
want to choose. Because maybe some people just don't even want to have kids at all,
So-
and they feel fulfillment in making each other happy rather than
Yeah, so you can only speak for yourself, obviously, and I can only speak for myself. You can only speak for yourself. But let me ask you a question. In your case, Nat, because you love music, that's your passion.
right.
Let's say that you have a man that makes 6 figures a year, and he tells you, babe, I don't want you to do shit. I just want you to stay home. I'll build you in a studio, just do fucking music, and make sure that once I get home, my meal is cooked. Wouldn't that make you happy? Wouldn't that fulfill you?
It would.
If the man loves you and you love him, if you guys both love each other and you guys are taking care of each other.
Absolutely, but if I want to go on tour, he needs to be right by my side.
Absolutely.
That's without taking
That's
in
where
the negative
fulfillment
side out of it.
leaves. Right. When I would be to an extent fulfilled, like I would feel
What wouldn't
secure,
fulfill you about that life?
because I too comfortable.
Exactly. Because we need to grow too. Right?
But you can find.
I would love to be comfortable. I would, but I'm a very adventurous person. And I feel like in this generation now, like for young entrepreneurs, like we want to be adventurous with our loved one and with our kids even. So like being home, like, yes, making sure the stability is there, that would fulfill me.
Yeah.
Like as in like physical things, like keeping the house clean or keeping our area clean. But if I can't do it, that's when the balance comes back in place.
But picture it.
But I picture it and it's beautiful. But maybe when I'm older, maybe right now I have the mindset of me just wanting to be there already so that I don't have to worry about wanting to go on tour again. And I would just be traveling with my family and that would fulfill me.
So,
But I have a question. Sorry, can I ask a question?
for sure.
When it comes to the situation and you're in that studio and that person, like, let's say the man is giving you everything that you need to succeed, what makes you think you wouldn't succeed or you wouldn't grow anymore? I just want to know.
No, I never said that I would not grow. It's just like the fact of like, oh, you have to stay home or, oh, where's my meal?
That's
Like,
not the point.
That's the
not,
thing.
they're
That's
getting it
adding in the
wrong.
negative.
We're getting it exactly. We're getting it wrong. What if instead of saying that would be like, hey, babe, I know you worked a lot this past years. Like, I'm gonna do this for you because I love you. I just want to make sure that you focus on your music. I want to make sure that you're passionate about what you're doing. I'm gonna build you a
And
studio.
they stabilize me.
Yeah, I know,
They give me a
and
studio.
you can do.
Oh,
you
he
can
can
do.
have the world.
That's my point.
Because it's what I love doing. But
That's exactly my point. That's exactly my point. That's exactly my point. You know, you're gonna do what you're passionate about, and you're going to get uncomfortable in your zone of like, damn, I'm gonna try beats that I haven't done yet. I'm gonna try to do something musically
because I'm
there,
not
which is my
worrying about
passion.
being stabilized.
And you're not worrying about having to go to a
Stable.
job because your man is taking care of it.
But then there comes independing as well.
I
And the
know, but if you
dependency
know
does
that your
not
man,
fulfill me.
but if you find a man that is traditional and that you know that that's his perspective, at least myself, I want a woman that will do that. I will do that for a woman if I get home and she gives me love and she makes sure that she takes care of me on the feminine side.
But that's your kind of relationship.
100%.
Like, of course, like probably most people want something like that, but it's also like everybody has their own kind of relationship. Everybody have their own needs.
Yeah.
And if like it's not like a woman should be that or a woman should feel more fulfilled. Like a woman feel more fulfilled when she's doing what she wants to do with her life.
Yeah.
And like in my case, that is to grow and to do like my own thing and to really in the relationship grow together and build something together, which is equal. Like both come in with their own strengths, and that could be masculine and feminine, but it could also be like 50-50 or whatever. It depends on the relationship, but you build that extra thing together because you both are
In Norway,
independent.
In Norway is 60-40, 60 girls and 40 men.
Do you know whose fault is that? That's society's fault.
It could be, but it, like anyway, like everybody is like you're on your own. Like you have to create the life that
you want and
feel
then go
fulfilling.
searching. I feel
Yeah.
like I'm not going to be ready until I know I can stabilize myself and I have
Exactly.
my family stabilized. And then I'm like, okay, now I can look, now I can depend on a man because I know
Yeah.
I got me at the end of the day. And that's what fulfills me.
And I would not look after
And-
a man that could give me everything because
Right.
I want to like know for
Get it
myself
yourself.
that I can handle that.
Yeah.
I would yeah, no.
I would look for a man that does what I do, like that wants to do
Grow.
what I want to do, and that naturally just does what you do. And if
Exactly.
you guys do the same thing,
Yeah, but if you're
interests are
struggling to
same,
pay
you're
the
good.
bills, you won't want a man that will take care of it.
That's why you don't even look for a relationship until you are financially stable.
Exactly.
But that's
Period.
but that's it. But it's and there I agree with you. But finding a man that can provide that financial stability and that you love, you find handsome, you find attractive, that makes you smile.
If
that
he
is,
helps me create something for myself, or
for sure, that's
to
all the
stabilize
point.
me,
Hey, if you're my baby girl, I'll buy you I'll buy you a nail studio. You like making nails? I'll buy you a
is
nail
when it comes
studio.
up.
Like
So if you're a great
then-
chef, if you
I wouldn't want you.
stay at
We're
home,
gonna
if you
eat
want
out
to-
every day, baby. You don't have to cook for me. I will eat out every day. I'm not worried about that. But it's more. I think that as a man, as a high value man, I consider myself capable of doing everything I need to do without a woman. There's gonna be a point in my life when I will definitely want a woman to support me emotionally and to give me peace of mind, to make sure that I get home after a stressful day and tell me, babe, don't worry about it. It's everything. Everything is absolutely awesome. That's it. It's my perspective. And I think that the value as a woman, and I think that the value as a woman, you get it by how. I'm not gonna say this. I'm gonna get hate on. Never mind. So, any final thoughts before we close this down? Because we already gotta go. Mr. Producer is like, yo, my memory is almost full.
find your purpose, fulfill yourself
Yes.
first before you ever look for
Find yourself
somebody
before
else.
you find a man.
Find yourself before you find somebody to fulfill you. Fulfill yourself.
Yeah.
Don't ever find somebody because you
Yeah.
want fulfillment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fulfill yourself first.
You don't want to look for that empty space and try to fill that with somebody else.
Right. Get rid of your luggage first. You should come with 2 luggages whenever you enter a relationship, not 4 or 5, and then put it on the other person. When the other person came with 2, clear your luggage. Go through your luggage.
If you made it this far, I think that you might think I'm a sexist, which I'm not. I'm just very traditional. She was like, yeah, but I'm just very traditional. And again, the best advice I could give to anybody that is watching is, please Find what works for you. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. Find what works for you. Find what makes you happy in your own sense and just make it work. I am speaking my mind about what makes me happy, and that's what I want. Maybe in 5 years, I might change my perspective on it. Maybe, maybe not. But again, the best advice I could give anybody that is getting into a relationship or getting out of a relationship or anything is do not tolerate shit. Do not settle for less than what you are. And make sure you find something that works for you and meet your standards.
And also that you know from before, like what you're looking for, basically. Because if you're looking for somebody that does the same as you, or if you're looking for that man that's a provider, because like we all have different ones. So just know for yourself what you're actually looking for and what could benefit you. And in that way, you probably don't waste time on bullshit.
Somebody that has the same passion as you too, I've realized that relationships like that go very far because you're in the same eras. Like there's been times where, true.
Until shit hits the fan.
And basically, one thing that I want to add is honestly understand that it's literally, imagine you're yourself in a plane crash and you want to save everybody else. I know you love it. And you want to save everybody else, but you need to breathe to be able to save everybody else. So therefore, you're going to grab the mask, put it on, and then put other people in the mask. It's exactly with anything in life. Love, business, relationship, and everything. And I'm not saying it's selfish. If the first thought that came to your head that means it's being selfish, that's that 1 out of 10 that I was talking about, that negative, that created literally an entire idea.
If the plane is crashing, the pilot is a woman. I'm just kidding.
Just throw him out of the window.
I'm just kidding. It was just a joke.
No, honestly, I understand that. Yes, you literally gave the first breath, and you're gonna leave the last one yourself. Nobody's gonna help you with that. Love and peace, bro. Just love yourself.
And
love others.
Guys, woman is the most beautiful thing that God has ever created. Like, no, I mean this. No. Like, I really do mean this. Like, I cannot even imagine my life, what would be of any man's life without the beauty of a woman and the healing energy of a woman. Women are the best thing that God ever created. That's why billionaires, I was telling Cesar the other day, if you're a billionaire, it doesn't matter how much money you have in your whole life and you're having a shitty day with your wife, you will not be happy. Because women have that special ability to make a man's day shitty or make a man's day absolutely awesome. So I want you women to understand and realize your power and understand how strong and powerful you are. And don't let a guy that is below average tell you what to do. Don't let a man that is below average tell you how to act, mistreat you, disrespect you, because you don't fucking deserve that shit. Tell him fuck you and go live your life and be beautiful and be awesome. Thank you guys for fucking watching. We love you guys.